very warm welcome to all the students. In last lecture, we had discussed about the structure following the small intestine, which includes Pierce patch, large intestine with its three parts in detail, including cecum, colon, including the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and the descending colon, rectum, and anal canal. In this topic, we'll be discussing about the histology, that is the study of microscopic anatomy of the alimentary canal, which is formed of four main layers, including visceral peritoneum, muscular coat, submucosa, and mucosa. This is very important from the point of view of competitive examination, as each year in some or the other competitive exam, one or two questions are being asked from this topic. So in this lecture, we'll be discussing about the histology of the alimentary canal. So when we speak of histology, we means the microscopic anatomy, that is the structure which we can see under microscope. Those kind of study of alimentary canal. So we'll be studying alimentary canal from the point of view of viewing it from the microscope. The walls of the alimentary canal has four main layers, namely serosa, muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa. This topic is very important from the point of view of MCQ questions. So the visceral peritoneum or the serous membrane or the serosa, this is the outermost part of the walls of the alimentary canal. Its different names are visceral peritoneum, serous membrane, or serosa. This is the first layer of the walls of the alimentary canal. So it is the outermost layer and it is made up of mesothelium. So mesothelium is the epithelium of the visceral organs, referred to as mesothelium. So it is the outermost layer and some connective tissue. So it is made up of mesothelium and some connective tissue. It is continuous with mesentery. Mesentery refers to a very thin layer which keeps all the organs in place inside the body. The outer wall of the esophagus is not covered by peritoneum. This is again a very important MCQ question, as esophagus lies outside the coelom. The second layer, which follows the visceral peritoneum, this is the visceral peritoneum, and the next layer which follows the visceral peritoneum is referred to as muscular coat, this region. So it is composed of outer longitudinal and inner circular smooth muscle fibers. So this is again MCQ question. What is muscular coat made up of? So it is made up of outer longitudinal and inner circular smooth muscle fibers. In the stomach, additional layer of oblique muscle fibers is present inner to the circular muscle fibers. So in stomach, we have one additional layer of oblique muscle fiber in addition to the longitudinal and inner circular smooth muscle fiber. In between the longitudinal and circular muscle fiber is a network of nerve cell. This is very, very important from MCQ point of view. So in between this longitudinal and circular muscle fiber, there lies a network of nerve cells which is referred to as Oribash Plexus. So as you can see, this first layer of nerve cells is referred to as Oribash Plexus, which is also known as Mentric plexus. Submucosa. It consists of loose connective tissue, richly supplied with blood, lymphatic vessels, and nerves. So, here another network of nerve cell fibers and autonomic nerve fibers which is present between the muscular coat, this is the muscular coat, and submucosa is referred to as the muscular coat, and submucosa is known as Meissner's plexus. So this next layer is referred, the first layer of the nerve cell and the nerve fibers were described as Oribash Plexus, and the second layer is referred to as Meissner's plexus. This is again a very important MCQ question, and generally it is asked which like Meissner's plexus is present between muscular coat, submucosa, or mucosa, or visceral peritoneum. Which of the following is correct? This plexus controls the secretion of digestive juices. This is again a very important MCQ question. Which of the following controls the secretion of the digestive juices? Is it Meissner's plexus or Oribash plexus? So the right answer is Meissner's plexus. The next layer which follows the submucosa is mucosa. So this is submucosa, and the next layer which follows it is mucosa. It is also known as the mucous membrane. It is composed of four main parts: the epithelium, that is this part, lamina propria, which is this part, and muscularis mucosa, which is this part. So epithelium is the innermost layer. Innermost layer is of mucosa is epithelium. Mucosal, this is again MCQ question. Which of the following is the innermost layer of mucosa? So the right answer is epithelium. Mucosal epithelium has goblet cell. So this is again MCQ question. Location of the goblet cells, which secretes mucus that helps in lubrication. So goblet cell helps secrete mucus that helps in lubrication. Mucosa forms glands in the stomach and crypts in between the bases of villi in intestine known as crypts of Lebergan. So this is very important MCQ question, the location of crypts of Lebergan. The next layer which follows epithelium is lamina propria, which is this layer. The middle layer of the mucosa, it is the middle layer of mucosa, again MCQ question, which is the middle layer of mucosa? It is the lamina propria. It consists of loose connective tissue, blood vessels, glands, and some lymphoid tissue. Again MCQ question, what is lamina propria composed of? So it is composed of loose connective tissue, blood vessels, glands, and some lymphoid tissue. The next layer which follows lamina propria is muscularis mucosa, that is this layer. So it lies next to the submucosa. It has outer longitudinal and inner unstriped muscle fibers. So this is again MCQ question. It has outer longitudinal and inner circular muscle fiber. The mucosa layer forms irregular fold called rugae in stomach. This is very important MCQ question. Small finger-like projection called villi in small intestine. So it is asked the location of rugae and the location of villi. So the location of rugae is in stomach and the location of villi is in intestine. The cell lining the villi produce numerous microscopic projections called microvilli. So the cells which are lining the villi, they produce further microscopic projections which are known as microvilli on this region, giving a brush border appearance. So the appearance of villi is like brush border because of the presence of microvilli. These modification, why do we require these modification? These are required because they increase the surface area enormously. So they also increase the luminal area, which is used for the absorption purposes. Villi are supplied with a network of capillaries and large lymph vessels called lacteals. So this is again MCQ question. What are lacteals? So when villi are supplied with a network of capillaries and large lymph vessels, these are known as lacteals. In upper one-third of the esophagus, both Oribash plexus and Meissner's plexus is absent. This is again a very important MCQ question. Is Oribash plexus and Meissner's plexus present in the upper one-third of the esophagus? So the answer is no.